Yo, what's going on, everybody? Good morning. Yeah, I guess my start thing. I guess my start thing actually runs out, and I don't have it on a loop. So we were chatting, and anyway, geez, I was just telling Pilgrim why you didn't hear it that this week has been a bit of a chaotic one. So anyway, this is Guido coming at you from the left side Atlantic.
And it's Pilgrim from the correct side Atlantic with the brand new, never seen before, Guido mug full of tea, and with the free, because we know that Guido likes to whine after the third hour of streaming, but a free packet of Kleenex that comes with it.
Oh, for the tears, to clean up the tears. Clean up any tears. Exploit my weakness comes in with a raid right off the bat. I'm glad he just got here because we stumbled out of the gate on this one.
Yeah.
Do we ever not stumble out of the gate?
Oh, you've been raided already.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Exploit my weakness. Thanks, man. Just kidding.
Yeah.
How was your stream? Well, he's up early, or is he over in EU? I don't know. Exploit. Where are you? UNA? Man, are you early or late? Is this the end of a all-nighter or something? Welcome to everybody. We're doing coffee talk today, so we're just chatting about tanks and having some early morning coffee. Stumble is on.
Yeah, it's I don't think we've even discussed anything that you're about to say.
No, we have zero idea what's going on here. You are not late, Brutus. We just sort of started rambling 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's not worth talking about how we got here.
Yeah,
it's just that we did. Just understand what we got here. Okay, so I'm Guido, that's Pilgrim. The intros are done. Channel news. 100 Battle Challenge is ongoing. I just finished the TS5.
Nice. I bet that was... I bet you were happy that happened, actually.
I was. That is one of those tanks I would not want to play a whole bunch. And then I did.
You did, yeah?
Yeah. I didn't hate it. It is good. I'm not saying it's bad. For a casemate, it's pretty good. And when allowed to do its thing, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But in this meta, something that slow with no turret.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not particularly great hold down because its depression is kind of trash for an American tank.
And I guess the other thing is the side armor's weak, the rear's weak. You know, if you get any sort of medium that flanks you, you're dead in the water, I guess.
It just always feels like you're fiddling around with the whole tank trying to get a shot. You know how like a tank with a turret, you can sometimes get in a comfortable position and kind of get into a rhythm and you know what you're doing. And with that thing, I was always shifting and twisting and trying to push forward just enough to get the depression and then you get a little hold down spot to hide your lower plate and they're zapping you through the hatch.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
The number of times we streamed while you were doing that, and you were saying, I can't see where I've been shot, so I would go and have a look at your tank, and I'd say, I can't see where you've been shot either. I don't know how they're doing it.
The armor model, and it's kind of interesting because it's so dark underneath. Sometimes you'd have holes on the lower plate.
Yeah.
Let me show everybody what I'm talking about here. You'd have holes down here. Well, it's already obscured by the lettering, but holes down here on this lower plate area, and it'd be hard to see.
Yeah.
But it's quite a large area. Even though it's well angled, it just seems to be butter. And of course, this big hatch doesn't help. It's quite large and tall, and everybody shoots it. I would even have shots on occasion right through this big mantlet. I don't know. The tank was weird. One game I would have 3,000 bounced. One game I'd have 3,000 bounced. I didn't feel like I did anything different. And the next game I'd have 0 and be dead within 5 hits or whatever.
Whatever map it was, I remember that because I had a look and I couldn't see it at first, but it was to the right-hand side of your barrel. It went straight through the mantlet. Yeah. So whether you were gold round shot at that point, I don't know.
Well, tier 10s, I guess, would tend to do stuff like that to tier 8s, but it was just the perception was it was such a hot or cold tank. I ended up with 53%, which was okay.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right for a case, mate, isn't it? You know what I mean? Brutat says, so except for the turret speed, maneuverability, armor, hatch, and comfort level, it's fine. It's perfect.
Literally, for me, the thing I liked the most about it was how fast it would fire. And it's thumping you for 400 every 7 seconds. So that's almost getting to medium tank levels of fire rate for a 400 pin. payoff.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
gold round was, I don't remember how much was it. 300, which is pretty usable. The standard pen, the standard pen is 248, which is great for standard pen.
Yeah.
So it sort of had that nice ability to get damage down range. It's got 3,400 average DPM, which is nice.
Yeah.
But the fire, the system it's on is questionable at
Well,
times.
it's hard work, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, any case mate's hard work anyway.
Right.
If you're going to go and be an assault TD, it's just hard work.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those ones that sort of lures you in to play assault TD, but sometimes it just don't work so good.
It
like in that role,
Yeah.
And that maybe
Is
that's
it
all
that
of
point
it.
you wish you were on the red line?
Yeah, exactly.
Your face hugging a tier 10, you go, I wish I was back there now.
I wish I'd have pressed S at the beginning of the game and just backed into a corner somewhere.
Yeah. Get as far up, do an arty trick and go and sit in the corner.
Ooh, I could guard Artie. Maybe I should have been guarding Artie the whole time. That's possible.
You should have done. That's it.
Yeah, that would have been a better idea. Okay, next stream should be Wednesday, folks. Maybe tomorrow. Right now I'm not scheduled, but I may have to go in. We'll see what happens. You might get 2 this week.
Oh, cool.
Nearly every time I say that, it's a lie, so just expect that to be true. As always, coaching is available.
It's just the way it is, isn't it?
As always, coaching is available. Contact me, Guido at 1212gaming.com, and my code is GuidoGrind for a new account. I don't know why you would do that, but if you did.
And I don't know why you keep saying that word, because that just ruins my brain cells. I
Guido
now
Grind?
have this picture. No, stop. No.
That's
stop.
it. That's the whole thing. Only other thing I could do is do the white man overbite.
Oh, right, okay. That's even worse. Now I'm traumatized.
I don't know. It's too early on a Sunday morning for that, or too late on a Saturday evening, however you want to look at it. Hey, let's shill.
Yeah, let's chill. Let's get the blue
Get the
light.
blue light special
Oh,
going.
we go.
Excellent. This thing seems to be perfectly lubricated, and so.
Yeah, it's working well. I mean, when you first got it, it was.
Imagine
problem.
Imagine we both have the exact same blue light that we got from.
Not crazy.
Somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, made in wherever. Is it upside down? There you go.
Maybe it's not the exact. I don't have that, so maybe mine's not.
Oh no, maybe they took the label.
Let me see the bottom again. Let me see the bottom again. We do not have the same exact light. Well, they sure look similar, though.
Upside down. Is that the right way around now? I don't know.
That's right. Yeah, mine's slightly different. I don't have that nice. You can hook yours onto the wall.
Oh yeah, look.
Yeah.
You see, when the Chinese build and sell into the States, they have to take all that off, so you think it's made in America, not made in China. So
I don't get the premium, is what you're telling me? I don't have the
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's not
Well, don't forget, I was a guest of the Chinese for 18 hours. That's why I get good stuff.
You probably lifted that one off of them as you went out the door, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. There was a Chinese police car outside. I thought, I'll have that on my way out.
Let's see. Bad connection. Video isn't matching up with the audio. Anybody else seeing that? We can stop and start if we have to. Okay, what were we doing? Oh.
Shilling.
We were going to shill. Let's go over to the garage so we can do some shillination here. Let me find it. Find it. We always have to do... Oh, wait a minute. There's a new window now. I like this thing. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, what the...
Oh.
Okay. Press that. There it is. Oh, I figured out a new way to do it. And in theory, it was faster, but not so much, because obviously it's not. And that's not the right one. And this is what we want. All right. Whew, that was hard. What do we got in the premium shop?
Nice things.
Lovely things. We've got... I'm going to have to fuss with that, too. Because... I shifted it all around, man. Stand by, people.
Stand by.
That's the wrong one.
Yeah.
It's Alt. Whew, it's difficult. Oh, that's better. All right. CS 51, 52. 51. Is there a 51? There isn't. CS 52 is in the shop. Good tank. You can get it for...
You know what I did this morning?
You bought one?
Yeah, because I had a 20% discount coupon as well. So I got it for, I wrote it down. I got it for £21 sterling. So what's that, $30?
Did you?
Yo.
Did you get
Well
an
worth it.
email right before that from Wargaming that said, "Don't let your coupon expire"? And you're like, "I cannot let my coupon expire."
Yeah, I didn't
Is
even
that-
know I had a coupon. So I went, oh, crikey. So I logged in straight away and I went, oh, look.
There you go, folks. Proof that social engineering works.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Pilgrim.
I've been mind-bended. Mind-bended
Pilgrim
by
got
Wargaming.
talked into buying a CS52 for your NA account.
Yes, on my NA account. So,
Yeah.
I was well pleased.
I don't think you'll just be disappointed. It's a pretty good tank.
Yeah, I know,
What-
because I remember you mentioned it before and I thought, oh, next time it comes up, I will look at it.
How much did it cost you?
Yeah.
How much?
£21 sterling.
Which is
It was
what?
originally £26.90. I don't know what it is in dollars. What's it in dollars?
I can get it down to $31.
You can get it down with a 20% discount.
No, mine's only 10.
Right, I had a 20% discount, so cool. But $31 is it's all right. We talk about this every time we talk about it. The price is what the price is, and it's only applicable if you can afford it.
Yeah.
But for me, it's cheap. £21 is cheap for a tier 8 good medium tank.
Have you guys been tracking the I think it's Gran Turismo drama that's going on?
No?
So apparently Gran Turismo 7, GT7 I think it is, just came out. And they have a lot of oh my goodness, what do they call it? It's like this. You got to buy stuff. What do they call it? Mini transactions or whatever the word is in the industry.
In-game purchases.
In-game purchases, but
Yeah.
so they're selling cars basically a lot like Wargaming sells tanks for the $30 to $40 to $50 range.
Right.
They've
This is not GTA, is it? This is GT.
No, that's Grand Theft Auto. I think
That's
if you,
Grand Theft
I think it's
Auto,
usually
okay,
done as GT for
Yeah.
Gran Turismo,
Yeah.
and I think it's that racing game. Correct me, guys, if I'm wrong in chat, but I think it's the Gran Turismo, and I like that. I played it a long time ago. I want to say number 2 or 3 or whatever. It was a pretty good. It's a good, really good, very hyper realistic kind of racing game.
Right.
But there's a big drama about it. People are all up in arms, and they're like $40 for a car. That's total BS. And I'm just sitting over going,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It's all relative, isn't it?
a World of Tanks player's only question is, well, is it better than the regular cars? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, exactly. Is it faster? Does the turbo kick in better? Does it use less fuel? Whatever. But yeah.
Is it OP?
Yeah, it's an OP car.
World of
Let's go with that.
Tanks player's like, is it OP? Because it seems like a pretty good price.
Yeah, it is. It's all relative, isn't it? But yeah. Is it pay to win? You're right. Answer.
Exactly. That's all we want to know, right? Is my car faster? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So apparently that
Brilliant.
community, it's the first time they've run into that with that particular game. So there you have it.
Well, interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
M41's for sale. This is I don't know. I would say fairly average, but I don't actually know that because I haven't looked at the numbers, but I don't know where it exists on. Now that's something else we should do. Hold on a second. We talked about this last week, getting the stats on stuff on occasion when we were curious about it. So let me grab tomato.gg. And we'll see where the M41D is. My guess, without looking at it yet, is it's in the middle somewhere. Maybe higher than some of the tech tree, but that's my guess.
It's overshadowed. I feel it's overshadowed by all the other lights out there that are significantly better than this. It's a shame because it's quite a high tank. So I would imagine it's.
Wow, I am incorrect. It is number 2 in win rate in the last 60 days.
Yeah, man.
It is number 2 in win rate in the last 60 days. This is NA.
This is the Bulldog.
No, the 41D is the Chinese version. It's number 3.
Oh, is it? Oh, right, okay.
In DPG. Drops to 4 in frags. So it's in the top 25% easily. Battles wise.
That surprises me. Yeah.
Now there's another. Take this with a slight grain of salt. It is one of the lower played ones, but I think that's more so because of the perception that it's not that great. It's doing well. I don't think this is a tank that is only owned by really good players because it's been for sale and whatnot. That okay? So color me surprised.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
That really did surprise me. It's a. I mean, I've got it, and the perception is that I've played it a few times. That it's not it's not at all a go-to light tank for me. Now, isn't
yeah.
that weird? And yeah, it's performing so well.
So if you'd have said, all right, which one's better, 41D or the Black Dog, the 4190, or the GF?
Yeah,
I would have picked the GF or slash 4190. That is an odd one right there, though. Look at this. So 34,000, 35,000 games. Why is the 4190 GF so much higher than just the regular 4190? And they are the exact same tank.
What about number of battles? That might make
Similar.
Similar. Okay.
The GF's been out longer. I wonder if that is a case of more experienced, better, longer-term players are playing it. I don't know.
Possibly, yeah.
I can't wrap my mind around why they're so different. Interesting. I don't know.
Well,
Okay.
there's a whole. Personally, without looking at that particular stat board, I would say things like the guys are saying. I would things like the Type 64. I really enjoy that. The LT 432, really good light tank. Nice low one as well. You can creep up the line of bushes on proc and all that sort of good stuff. So I don't know. That absolutely amazes me. But maybe I'll take another look at that. Data says it was it not given away in America?
No. These sorry. The GF and the regular one are a skinned version from when they used to have grand finals, and the regular one's just an unskinned version. It's like the Scorpion G and the Scorpion. Then there's obviously the T-34B and which is black, and T-34. I guess the more direct corollary is the 1357 GF, which was a grand finals, and the regular no skin 1357.
That's right, because you get the white stripe on the one that you can.
It's got the little grand finals graphic on it and stuff, which is a defunct thing they did years and years ago.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what's for sale there in gold. Nothing really big coming out there as far as I can tell.
No, it's all standard, isn't it?
Yeah. Premium count also the same, which I am not in need of that for quite a long time.
No. Thank you, Christmas.
Yeah, Father Christmas. IS-2M, Skoda, prototype still kicking around. And the regular stuff. And I guess that's it for specials too. Really not a whole lot going on in terms of what's for sale, guys. Just the CS getting chucked in there, and then the surprisingly good.
Yeah, surprisingly good.
Holy cow. All right. So that's all that stuff. Let's take a look at missions and specials. There was a weekend thing that sort of popped up. I guess maybe I wasn't around Friday because I was driving, so I didn't notice.
Oh, the challenge missions.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. They're fairly standard missions, challenges, and you get free kits and stuff with them. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so that'll go as you play, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Nothing really fiddly on that. We do have some more information on the upcoming Chapter 4 thing. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Common Test 2 is kicking off. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, that's interesting because that's all about a single mode. There's nothing else in the Common Test. It's all about the what's it called? Art of Strategy event.
I think there's some other stuff in it, isn't there?
I had a quick look this morning and I couldn't see anything.
No, there's a couple. I thought there was a couple other things, but I could be wrong. Wasn't there some new maps or some such?
Changes to the map roster for new players.
Yeah, it's all kind of small stuff.
Okay, I see.
So I don't know what the plan is with Strategy of War, if they're going to release it as a mode after this common test, or if this is just testing for further testing.
Yeah, maybe so. But it'd be nice if it released it because, it's going to be a very short-lived mode, I guess. It won't be something that'll be constantly in the game, I would imagine. But yeah, why not? A bit of fun, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of people saying, nah, not so much. I don't know. I haven't played it. We'll see.
All right.
I don't.
if somebody's been in, yeah.
I'm trying to ask myself, am I that interested in the concept? And I'm coming up with not really.
Oh, okay.
So I
Well, leaderboard contest with like 1 versus 1 versus 7. I don't know. I might just give it a go.
yeah,
Actually,
no,
I mean,
I'm saying yeah.
yeah.
Don't just because I said I'm not interested, go for it, man. But it
No,
just doesn't seem that compelling to me, to be honest.
yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting. Because I can't do Clan Wars on the NA server, or not Clan Wars? What's the thing called? The thing that you do at 3 o'clock in the bloody morning, and I'm not getting up to do it. Whatever that is, the one where you ranked battles.
Oh, ranked.
So because I can't do ranked, it'd be quite interesting to see where I would sit on the strategy type event. You know what I mean?
Right,
Especially
right.
as long as it's not time gated, it'd be all right.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know if it's crap. I'll say.
So here's something that I sort of snuck by me, and I'm trying to figure out. I think one of the CCs actually built one of these things. Wargaming events. I wanted to dig into this yesterday, and I forgot all about it. But I think what the deal here is that you can create an event. I don't want to give away any info in case it's first time here. What the heck? I want to ask a question or share an idea. I want to create an event. I want to participate in tournaments. So I haven't logged in yet, so I'm not going to go through all that. I will dig into this, guys, but I think the idea here is that you can create your own event. And I believe one of the CCs already created a tournament. About a year ago, this was being talked about, so don't quote me because I don't know if this is actually true, but the concept was you could use your own gold. So I could grab my pool of gold and say, all right, the reward is, this, that, and the other. So we could do a, Guido event or a GFLC event or whatever.
Right.
So I will dig into that, folks. I don't know if anybody in chat has already looked at it. Go ahead and kick out any information you may have on it so far. But I don't. That's it. That's all I know. And I could be off base on the being able to use your own gold.
Well, we're time gated as well because it's only going to run for April. So
oh, really?
It finishes on the 22nd of April, I think, if I'm right, reading the dates.
Well, see, this is a particular tournament. So this is the Wargaming Events Cup, but there's also the events homepage where I think you can build your own stuff. So other people, I think.
Okay.
So there's two things going on here. The one is the just tournament, 6v6 tournament itself.
Yeah.
But I believe one of the CCs built one, and I don't know if it was Nick. I don't know if it was Nick or I have to think. It'll come to me in a minute. I think there's a couple events going on already, so that's a work in progress. We'll see.
I tell you what, the list of in-game prizes for this that Wargaming are throwing out there, quite handy. It's wow, 36,000 gold for first place, with 36,000 bonds for first place. So both gold and bonds per team, obviously not individually.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Yeah. I mean that. Wow.
Per team.
That's no small change, that is it?
Well, if you figure there's 6 people and there's probably a couple extra allowed. A couple spares, I guess.
Yeah.
Playoffs, tournament format, roster information, only players in NA. 6 and a maximum of 8. Okay, so you could go with a min of 6, but you can have a couple extras. So it would be divided amongst the players or however the team was going to agree to do it, obviously. So math in public would be 6,000 per guy if there was 6 on your team and you won first place. Still, that's not bad.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
And $1,000 per team monetary prize.
Oh, well, I didn't see that. That's interesting.
Yeah, 1,700, 400, 400.
Huh.
So that's quite nice.
Might
be worth digging into that, as you say.
There was another tournament that somebody had built, and there were some premiums being chucked around.
Wow.
I just haven't been paying close enough attention to this stuff. I'll try to dig into this, guys, and figure out what I can figure out. Cliffy or somebody said it's been around for a year but not advertised, so I don't know. Have people been building tournaments with this? Where would you go to find that? Is it in the forums? I don't know. This is weird. I'll tell you what. So the cup itself is the time gate thing there, Pilgrim.
Yeah.
This particular event is obviously starting on April 1st, registration. And then the matches go from the 11th to the 22nd, which is, 11 days.
Right.
But this button here will take you to their homepage, the one I looked at right here.
Yeah. And
you can do all that stuff. So I will dig into that.
Yeah, the events homepage. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think
I'm there now. Yeah, create an event, rules.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think I'll look into that and see if we can't create some kind of tourney.
That'd be fun.
It'll have to be all manticores or something.
That would be good, wouldn't it? That would be awesome. And guess who'd be winning that one then?
I don't know. I don't know how you can set the limitations. It'll depend on how you're allowed to set all that stuff up. Really.
Yeah.
You may not be able to do anything quite like that. And then everyone will try to figure out how to min-max it. Tog tournament's not a bad idea. There you go.
Tournament's not a bad idea either, is it?
Yep. Togs. All togs all the time.
Artillery tournament. 7 versus 7. 6 versus 6 artillery.
Bring your tog. All right. Let's see. Where are we? Missions and specials. The code is no fooling.
Yeah.
No fooling. And that's for a Basante C-54. Now, here's something that I found in there. Of course, I think this thing released on April 1st. Here's what Commander AF said. She said the code would unlock a new American double-barrel line. And then she said...
Oh, she did, yeah.
And she said April Fool's.
It was an April Fool thing.
Well, she said that.
Yeah, she did say that. And then she corrected herself.
But she was also just talking about Chapter 4, which we'll get to in a minute. And there is some speculation that that new American double barrel is is the prize, although that's still in super test, so I don't know. So we've thrown a lot
way off in super test.
Yeah, it is. So we've thrown a lot of stuff out there. I don't know. Somebody earlier had a guess already what tank it was. What was that? Which one was it? I think it was the. No, it's not the Russian IS-4 one. We already got that. The Kurovets.
The Cobra.
Kurovets. No, the Cobra is going to be just Battle Pass Tier 9 availability.
Oh, okay.
I think this Chapter 4 is a marathon-ish thing for a Tier 8, is my understanding.
Right. Right, so they're throwing a marathon at the end of the Battle Pass is what we're talking about. Okay. First time chat from my poker face.
Hey, welcome.
Yes.
Welcome. Yeah, tinfoil hats on. Exactly. Probably it's going to be the WTF 100, I think.
Right.
A Tier 8 premium version. It's coming back to the game.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be... What was that? What was that? Was it the ISU 152 with the great big gun? Can't remember what it was. The BL gun, the BL-10. Yeah, it's that come back.
It's a bit... Okay.
Twice as powerful. That's what I hear.
1500 alpha?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, good. I'm glad we...
800 pen.
800 pen. We sorted that out. April 5th, we're going to get a double on track.
Right. Are we? Didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. Where did I get that? I think on Commander AF's... Yes, on Commander AF's video.
Video, yeah.
Yep. So she announced that, and it's going to be the the Leopard and the 110E4, which are the two Battle Pass tanks.
Battle Pass, yeah.
So that's cool. That'll make people happy who are upset the on tracks are gone, and they happen to be the tanks people are grinding for Battle Pass. So cool.
Yeah.
That's that. What else on missions and specials? I think that's about it, man.
On the home news, we seem to have covered everything. Really, the extravaganza is it's pretty much referral program, battle pass, wargaming events. The April month-long events. There's the normal Watt salute missions. That's going on. April weekend special missions. It runs down. There's going to be an extravaganza on the 15th or 18th, but it doesn't say what it is. It's got a strange little icon against it. I don't know what a little yellow triangle means.
Yeah,
But it must be
we've delved into that several times and figured it out. I don't remember what it was.
right.
It's out there what that is, but I can't remember for the life of me what it means.
Okay.
Somebody will probably throw it in the chat. All right, so back to update 1.116.1.
Yeah.
Frontline, that's the first thing. There's new maps changes on Frontline. That was the big thing there as well. Trade-ins are changing, and then additional limited chapter. But the vehicle outlining was the one that we talked about. So that's coming with 1.16.1. Here's a tidbit that you can learn by looking at Commander AS video. Check this out. It'll answer one of our questions. I'll go over to the video real quick. And I will fast forward to, here we go. All right, so.
Options. What does that mean?
All right, the question was that we had is where you put the pipper and does it show the outline? So clearly, if you put the pipper on something that's not blocked by anything, you get an outline, much like you do now.
Yeah.
So watch what happens here.
Simply seeing the outline of the enemy vehicle, now you can see what portion of the vehicle is behind impenetrable cover, like a rock.
Boom, boom.
And which parts are
Boom.
something breakable.
Watch this.
Here is to give you more.
Aha.
Oh wow.
So unpenetrable, impenetrable, things you can't pen, whichever way you want to say that. There's no outline. But this remains a question because I did not see anywhere in this example, and I think that's all they show.
As you take aim,
Okay, let's go back to this. What they didn't show is if I move this to here, to the penetrable one,
Yeah.
will I get an outline?
Yeah.
I still don't. I don't think we still have that answer unless somebody has been. Has anybody been to Common Test and seen what that scenario does? I'm sure it's out there because Common Test's been kicking around. Has anybody done that? Put their pipper on the aim point on destructible stuff.
Yeah. Does that mean that you get the highlight? Because technically, it's still not seeing the tank because it's covered by an object.
Right.
Albeit it's destructible. So technically, it's not seeing the tank. But there's no answer to that at the moment then.
Yeah, so I mean I wouldn't be surprised if it did show the tank, but I don't know. It doesn't seem, well, it is useful either way because you can tell I can't shoot this part and this part is blocked by something. So there you go. I was sure somebody would chuck it into chat there and already know the answer to that. I suppose I should get Common Test up or something like that. I don't know. Okay.
Another client on your computer.
Yeah, I need another 50 gig of crap on my computer.
Yeah.
I need that. I need EU. I need Common Test. I need Super. Yeah. Between it's like 250 gig of shit.
Yeah.
Wayne, I'm with you. It seems like the right answer.
Yeah.
Didn't have any room for the. Yeah. Hot Watt, how you doing? I'm betting no. Okay, so I'm thinking yes. Cliffy's saying no. I don't know.
I'm just thinking that it would be that's an unfair advantage if you highlight on a destructible. For example, now if you as a tank currently you can go behind a destructible building and not be seen, even if even so if you poke your barrel out or whatever and you're behind a destructible, but the enemy's looking at the building, it's not going to see your tank unless you get spotted. And then you can see the outline.
That's actually true. Yeah, if it's a big enough obstacle and all of your spotting points are covered by it, you won't be seen.
Exactly. But so that's unfair. If you can then, if it will penetrate a destructible and see you behind a destructible.
So they could code it, but that would be against a lot of their mechanics.
Yes.
So you're probably right, actually. So the answer would probably be no. Huh.
You would hope.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's a lot of unfair disadvantage.
Well, I mean, you could code it to where if it was completely covered, it didn't show any of it, and if one of its spotting points if it was seen by the tank that's looking at it, then because you can be poking out of stuff at the right angle and not be seen.
Yeah,
based on where your
exactly.
spotting point is. Like
Yeah,
you can have a little edge
exactly.
of your tank out that's not doesn't that you don't
Yeah.
your the
Well, you
tank.
get that old. You can poke your barrel past the.
Sure, that's one
the-
example. Yeah, sometimes the
it's
rear end,
spot.
depending on the angle, if it's
Yeah.
not, if you don't get
Yeah.
that very back spotting point, depending on the angle of your line of sight, things from other tanks can actually be sticking out around corners.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Because you're not direct line of sight to a spotting point, you don't see it.
You don't see it. Kedge, I've taken some tablets this morning. This is why I'm logical.
We've entered a new
logical
chapter.
tablets.
We've entered into a new chapter of life here.
We'll go back to Pilgrim moment. Can't even say it now. Pilgrinomics at some point.
And we're back.
We're back. Anyway, talking tangents.
Yeah.
Talking tangents. Just while we're at it, can you get that picture of the biscuits up?
Oh, are we going to go straight to biscuits?
Well, I don't know. Do you want?
Yeah, man, I can bring the biscuits up.
Do we
All
do
right.
a subject du jour, or do you want to do a tangent?
No, a tangent's fine. I don't care. What? Wait, where'd the biscuit go?
It's like
I maybe promised something I can't do. Where are the biscuits? Bring on the biscuit. What?
I don't know. I sent you an email.
You did? What in the? Oh, I know. It's over here.
Right.
I put it in the coffee
over
shop.
there, look.
Yeah, it's in
It's
the
over
coffee
there.
shop. We left the
Yeah.
biscuits in the coffee shop.
Oh, that's where they belong.
Boom, biscuits.
Yeah, look at that lot. Right. Woohoo!
What do you think,
Okay.
guys? Look at this, man.
What do you think?
The Brit
I
Brit has made biscuits.
Yes, I need some genuine responses to my MasterChef period of Saturday. Listen, guys. I have never baked in my life. I've never cooked anything in my life. The house general does all that. She doesn't trust me to cook because I tend to food poisoning the family when I try it. So that's the first attempt.
Man, I have
what
to
you
say,
guys call
my friend,
biscuits.
those look like delicious biscuits.
They've all gone. That's why I can't show you live.
Get in my belly.
Yeah, they're in here, and the house general had one. She wouldn't have more than one, but I had the other.
Okay, so we have your opinion. What was hers? Did she like them?
She said they were okay,
Yeah.
but she wants to get the manufactured ones to test against the homemade ones.
Yeah.
So we're making sort of like moves to try and get the cardboard tin thing. You know what I'm on about,
Dude, I'm
anyway.
impressed, man. I'm impressed. Those look like
You see the little dint at the top? The recipe said press your thumb in to make a small dint. It helps it rise. And they came out with these holes in the top. I was like, well, whatever.
Now, I've never seen the holes in the top. I don't know where that comes from, but
I don't know. But they were nice. Yeah, I mean, I thought, oh, good, here we go. We'll try this American scone. But it's not a scone. It's nothing like a scone.
so it's like I said,
Yeah, I
it's
had a good
fluffier
go.
inside.
Yeah, no, yeah. I broke them open. They were like crumbly and fluffy inside.
Yeah.
And biscuity on the outside. And I had them with mulligatawny soup, which I actually couldn't spell when I told you, so I wrote curry soup.
Is that a kind of curry soup?
Yeah, it's like curry soup. That's it. But it's
Oh,
called
that's not
mulligatawny.
bad. That's a good idea. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
traditional in any way, but that's not a bad thing to have a biscuit because then you can sop up the curry.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what I was dipping in into me soup. Proper old person's food.
You can take the teeth out and put them aside. And,
Yeah. So it's and they stayed crispy, which was cool.
Oh, them biscuits are so good. Them biscuits.
Yeah, exactly. Hot what? Like she wants one of those manufactured cardboard tube ones, and then, well, no soup for me. She wants me to make these again. I don't think I could do it twice in my lifetime. I think that's a one-off.
Give you that chunk of steak fat so I can chew on that too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I need to. I'll get to the point where I'm sucking the food now because I can't. These are falling out.
There you go.
There you go.
Meldeet's
That's
making
good.
biscuits and
Cool.
gravy.
I'm
right.
totally impressed. I didn't think I would. I didn't even think I would go anywhere near them. But you know what? They're great. I love them. I can't wait to.
Maybe we
get
need a
some
new
more
segment.
more.
It's the Pilgrim Cooking Challenge.
Yeah, it is now. Been a number one tangent. Look at it, mate. Look,
Next week in
red
the
eye
Pilgrim.
gravy. I need the recipe for that. Red-eye gravy, whatever that is.
What did he say? Red-eyed gravy?
Red-eye gravy to go with these.
Where is that?
Randall below Meldef saying he's making biscuits and gravy for the family.
I don't know what red-eye gravy is. I actually have never heard of that.
And then Bootman is saying about the gun barrel highlight shows as a destructible which you can shoot through. Salt cured ham. Oh yeah, he'd be jumping.
If you point the gun barrel or any other part, highlight shows if there is destructible. Yeah, Bootman. Yep, we got that. What the question was whether if I only put the aim point on a destructible item, will it also then show me the rest of the highlight of the tank? And I think we've come to probably no.
Yeah, we'd hope not. Yeah.
Probably no.
There you go. Ham gravy. There you go. Red-eye gravy has coffee in it. It's not happening, Randall. I'm not drinking coffee. That's an American drink.
Beautiful.
No
Cliffy
way.
says it's based on ham grease. Okay. I
Hey.
got it. Sounds good. Okay, let's see.
Right.
What else we got? Missions. Are we done?
What
Are we
else
on
we got?
subjects du jour? Where are we? What are we doing?
I don't know. We still had missions on the go, and I tangented to biscuits. But anyway,
I don't think there's anything else going on. Let's just take a quick look here in the missions tab. Has the events thing popped up yet? No, there's nothing going on there yet. Weekend challenge. So that's where you can get the kits. So we do some damage equal to or exceeding the hit points of your vehicle. There's a blocking mission. Great.
Get out
Equal
the
or
mouse.
exceeding.
get out the mouse or the VKs.
What? Oh, so you can finish this 6 times, 2 a day. Is that no one get 3 of these and 2? I don't know. Oh, right, it is 2 a day. So, yep, I missed a day, so that makes sense. I did my stuff on Saturday, so it looks like you really need to do. You have to do this all 3 days apparently to get your 3 large repair kits.
Oh,
Boy,
okay.
that seems.
All right.
So, who mentioned that? Was it Cliffy or somebody that mentioned it was kind of a stiff requirement just to get 3 large repair kits? And I would tend to agree.
That's called hard work, isn't it?
You can do it in one day. Oh, it's not
Do it
day.
in one day, yeah.
No, you can't. 1, 2. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3. Oh,
Yeah.
sure you can. Sure you can.
Yeah.
You get 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. You only need to do it 6, 3 on each, right? 3 of these, 3 of these.
Yeah.
But it does. Does it reset, or am I just insane? Oh, so I've just not done an armor efficiency.
Ah, there you are. Drag the mouse out and go and do one.
Ugh, jeez. I'd rather not.
Yeah. No.
I'd rather not. All right, so this can be all done in one day. Still, though, it is kind of weird that that's an odd reward kind of thing. This thing, does it end? Oh, it ends on the 20. So are we going to have 3 on tracks going at once? It looks like it.
No, surely not. Hang on.
Well, she said that they're starting both the 110 and the Leo on the 5th.
Yeah.
And this is still going.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. It's the 3rd today, isn't it? Yeah.
Unless there was more details in there and she said one starts once and one starts later. I have no idea. So that's not much else going on in the missions. That's it. That's it.
Randall was saying that there was a total lack of anything for April Fool's Day.
That's
I'm
true.
not sure about Commander AF's video. I think that was... There's stuff in there that I'm not 100%
It's
sure
been a couple
about.
years since they did a April Fool's event of any kind that I can remember. I'm not surprised with this year with all the chaos in the company based on the Ukraine thing.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm not surprised that they just didn't have the bandwidth to kick something out like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how disrupted they are and how much their Minsk office did in terms of the whole company itself.
Yeah.
But I guess they've abandoned that, or they moved people, and then of course Kiev was obviously a problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I think, if I'm honest, I'm pretty impressed. It's still sort of just rolling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
They have plenty of stuff outside of those 2 countries, I think, to kind of rewicker things and move stuff around and keep it going. But I don't know. Well, I mean, they do seem to be continuing to develop. So.
Well, I mean, they must have people in. The EU servers are, I believe, Amsterdam, possibly Turkey for EU3. and I'm not sure what EU2 is, but Amsterdam is EU1, and then obviously you've got Chicago,
Yeah.
the NA. So I don't know whether the developers would go out to that sort of location, or there are developers in those locations. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you can do a lot of this stuff from a distributed points. You don't
Yeah, you
necessarily
can do
have
it.
to
Yeah,
have
it's
an
like
office.
home working.
Yeah, with cloud-based stuff and being able to get to
Yeah,
their
yeah.
own servers and whatever. So yeah, I mean, on the one hand, I don't see why not. On the other hand, fairly impressed with their ability to flex and continue to do at least some stuff and keep things going.
Sure.
Yeah, that's probably true, Cliffy. But didn't they say they were going to move it? Didn't they say they were going to leave?
Yeah, maybe they're not allowed to leave. I don't know.
I don't know.
Hey ho.
Gone silent on some of that stuff just a little bit. What is the April Fool joke on us? That's right.
It is.
Yeah, if you feel like you were slighted, then just play the game. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of their finance stuff isn't linked to either one of those potential, or as far as bringing money in. So,
but Cyprus is known for that. Cyprus is a clearinghouse for an awful lot of money, purely because they don't have punitive taxes against the movement of money in and out, and they don't actually ask too many questions. The Cypriots, they're quite happy to have that money sort of flow through. So you've got to say to yourself, Cyprus is a fairly relaxed country when it comes to how money is moved in and out. So why not?
I think they were smart to do that.
Yeah.
Not that they had some premonition about this particular situation.
No.
But in dealing in those countries, they probably looked at it and went, "Let's go somewhere where we're not in the middle of this, at least monetarily, kind of spread out just a little bit." So to some extent, that's pretty smart. Other people will say, "Well, they're just greedy." Okay, got it. But whatever the reason, it turned out to be a good idea for today's situation.
Yeah. Well, there's two major clearing houses. Here we go. Financial tangent on. But there's two major clearing houses that are fairly relaxed rules-wise. And shamedly, one of them is London. And the other one is, Cyprus. But I know the London one is now being driven down hard by the politicians. So Boris is on that one now. But yeah, I mean, London would shift a lot of money around without questions. Well,
I mean, the question is,
cryptocurrency.
Yeah, you can poo-poo it, but do you want the business there or not? I'm not defending the rules. That's not. I'm just talking about facts.
Absolutely.
The reason countries do that kind of stuff, and so for around here, it's a couple of countries in the Caribbean that will that basically ask no questions. So you got a lot of offshore stuff from the U.S. and a couple of the Caribbean countries.
Yeah.
So,
well, if you don't go to the major financial institutions, then you start looking at cryptocurrency, which is unregulated, and people are just making millions on it. So
whatever your politics, it's a rational move by people. Whether you like it or not is a whole other conversation people can have. But,
of course it's. Yeah.
London being one of the financial capitals of the world, there's a reason for that, and you can go get all mad about it. But if you increase the pain and drive them all away, then you're no longer the financial capital, and that may be what you want. Maybe that's a good thing. But problem is, you get people start crying about how they aren't anymore. It's like, well, you ran them off. That was your choice.
Exactly.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what to tell you. All right, cool.
Right, get off that then. Who cares?
Yeah. Let's see. Subjects du jour. We sort of already launched off into this. Update 1.16.1. I think we talked about what we want to do with that.
Yeah.
Frontline and the outline changes. All right, Chapter 4.
Right.
Good news. The previous 3 do not need to be finished.
Right, okay. I didn't know that.
But it will need to be manually activated. I will caveat that by saying she was sort of talking about Common Test and Chapter 4 at the same time. So I don't know if she meant you have to activate it in the test, but it'll be something different. Okay. I would assume, I am making an ass out of you and me, that based on the way Wargaming does it, at least check and make sure when this thing comes out that whether you have to activate it or not. Go there and figure it out. Probably, I'm guessing you do.
Yeah.
That's
You would
been,
hope that it'll be on the website somewhere anyway, wouldn't it?
and that's been one of their MOs for these things. So essentially, you would go to missions up here, fellas. You'd go to events, and I'm assuming that thing will be here. It could be, though. I could be wrong, and it could be here in the battle pass
Okay.
in the battle pass section. Don't know.
Right.
Events.
That sort of would
Battle
make sense because it's termed as part of Battle Pass, although we've decided it's going to be a marathon. So it would make sense that it would be accessible via Battle Pass, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Maybe that's not going to be the case.
Stickler's got 7 million coming from a UN financial officer.
Wow.
Well, fantastic.
Good for you, mate.
I got the streamer. Here's another tangent. I got the streamer version of the Nigerian Prince.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Trying to find it. I was going to bring it up, but it's actually on my Discord, and that would mess up our cameras. But the gist of it was they wanted me to partner with them to have a pre-roll advertisement of their game on
Nice.
my YouTube. This was YouTube channel, I guess, not streamer, but YouTuber. So YouTuber
Right.
version of the Nigerian Prince. And as you get, of course, the English was all wackadoodle
Yes, of course.
with no real effort. The attempting to sound professional but not coming close, and syntax is
No.
completely jacked up, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the best part, and so where the radar goes up, it was so plain, and there was no graphics from the company. It was just clearly BS. But I read through the whole thing, and towards the end it said, so we just respond. We need to talk, and they were talking $4,000, and they said we'll send you half up front.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Give us your bank account details.
Correct.
Send you the money.
Correct. And while it didn't say that part, obviously, because it's a phishing thing, right? Once
Yeah,
they
yeah.
get a bite, now we start working through the details of it, and slowly, I have to give them all this information. Next thing you know, it's the chargeback, blah blah blah, super double cross, and
Yeah.
next thing I know, I've paid them $4,000 or more.
What you should do is find somebody that you don't really like and give them his bank account details.
Well, I don't need to, because I did it. I figured $4,000 was I was going to make a lot of money. So
Absolutely.
the best part is, I've had several. I get these probably once a week, either from YouTube or Twitch stuff, and it's always a kind of variation or whatever, and it's always things like, "Oh, we watch your channel and we really think you're a good match," and all this stuff. I'm like, bro, I have 2,500 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
There is no way in hell any company is even going to worry about me. So don't come in here talking me up like I'm some huge YouTuber, and you just got to get a piece of this action. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're saying that I get emails quite regularly from a recruitment agency because I've been out there looking for jobs, and obviously my CV's with the genuine recruitment agencies and so on, but it's out there. So I get the, we've seen your CV online. We think you are fantastic. We think you are a great fit for this job. Please click this link to our website and we will and I'm like, right, I'm fantastic. I'm a great fit for your job. And when they show the job, it's like tax consultant. I think like, why would a Pilgrinomics be a tax consultant?
Well, I've always kind of wondered how the process worked for those things. I always figured that I was too small for any of that really to happen. But I wouldn't. Here's what I don't know, though, because if I do get a valid one, I don't know if I'd recognize it. I think I would, based on but I don't know. I don't know that for sure, because I'm spring loaded to just assume all of that is a scam. Everything like it is a scam.
Yeah.
What's RAID? I don't even know what that is.
I know what RAID is. It's this stuff,
The spray. Shh.
Yeah, that is.
What? Why do you have a can of RAID? Did you have?
Keep the house general away. And she won't come in.
Dude, I hope to God she didn't hear that.
Oh gosh, yeah, I said that quite loud.
Yeah, man. If you guys,
Biscuits will be
if a stick comes from off camera and smashes him on the head, you know exactly what happened.
Isn't that odd? I had a can of RAID.
Oh man.
Oh, dear.
RAID Shadow. Oh geez, yeah. I'll tell you what, man. I'm mercenary. If Raid Shadow Legend wanted to give me some hard cash to advertise their crummy mobile game, I guess I would, and maybe that would turn some people off. I don't know, but I don't think I'd care that much. Well, I mean, I sit through that crap on videos I want to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So if it takes me 5 seconds of watching that to see a video I want, then I'll do it. It's not that big a deal to me. The ones
As another tangent, your I want to say aeroplane video. I can't remember what they call aircraft video. The thing you've just
for Top Gun Maverick, yeah.
Top Gun Maverick. Man, oh man, the adverts kicked in every 30 seconds on that.
Yeah.
I was like, try to watch it, and then he went adverts. Then I went, oh, bugger. Wait your 5 seconds, click on the thing.
Yeah.
Then adverts, and I was going, wow. I mean, you normally don't have that many adverts on.
Well, because it's the subject matter, actually, and I'm sort of actually bracing for a copyright strike on that because I use their stuff. Normally, they don't do that for reaction videos and stuff like that. But in the past, I've done reaction videos without actually showing the video, and I've seen a lot of people do it, but they're all big channels, so a lot of times the big channels kind of just do it and they don't do anything. So if I get nicked for it, then I'll have to take it down.
Yeah, but it's one strike, isn't it? You get 3 strikes, don't you? I think.
Yeah, it's a kind of a press to test. I'm really curious. I suppose if you irritated them enough, they might, try to do it. I tried to be as neutral as possible. I'm going to see the movie. I mean, I'm interested in the movie. It's just some of the stuff that is kind of silly.
It's quite. I was quite surprised how keen you are about the whole genre, the first movie, this movie, and so on, because you're an actual pilot, and you must see these things, look at it, and go, "That's rubbish. That's rubbish. That bollocks. That will never happen. That's rubbish," and that turns you off the movie. Because when I watch the old, army movies, as you see going to battle and all the rest of it, you're like, "Nah, that wouldn't happen. No, I don't want to watch this crap," and I turn it off. So I'm quite surprised you're keen to actually watch it, and you have a. Yeah,
but there's a sentimental connection to it because I saw it well before I ever got in the military. So you don't know nothing from nothing when you're a kid, and you see this this movie that was like nothing you'd really ever seen before.
Right.
And the music was great, and you liked the actors, and you were young, and it was cool, and it was high energy, and it was jets, and catapults launching tomcats
off.
So
it sort of captured your your imagination on that. Yeah. The reality is very different, as we know, because we've watched the video, and you quite rightly have gone through and say, look, this would not happen. The bubble around the aircraft is 500.
Well, I didn't know any of that when I watched it. And then as I learned about it, we would often make fun of some of the things in Top Gun, but it wasn't nasty necessarily. It was just, professional fighter pilots talking about the stuff that wasn't right. But everyone agreed that the flying sequences, regardless of whether they were dopey or not, were cool because the vast majority of that first movie was actual flying.
Yeah.
Which is, there was very little CGI, like the upside down thing where he was, cockpit to cockpit. You could just tell that was CGI, and it was 80s, I guess, CGI. So you're kind of like, oh, that kind of sucks. But all the footage of the BFM and stuff was all real.
It was all real.
And they were really close, which you're not that close. They had to be, so it was more dynamic. I mean, if you try to make a movie of 3,000-foot gunshots, the other airplane is, the other airplane it looks that big, right? It's not a big cool. It's like this planform way out there.
Yeah.
So you just got to understand that that's part of making it cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's Hollywood, isn't it? I mean, Hollywood. I mean, and Hollywood understand that whole thing that they have military advisors with these type of films, and they take the advice, but they're not that worried about the effects side, the technical side maybe, but the effects side they're like, well, we need to make it powerful for people to watch it, so it has to have this drama in there and all the rest of it. So, and it was quite telling when you said that's the face you would make under G when his face was completely screwed up. Absolutely, yeah.
So I think I've told this before, but there was a series made. The creator's Jesse Negron, and he was working with the brothers that made Top Gun, whatever their names are. Somebody,
Right.
I can't remember what, they're famous movie makers. And it was called American Fighter Pilot. And it was a series that was supposed to be on TV, and I think only the first 3 or 4 at the most were
Right,
aired.
it was a documentary.
It was but it was one of those
Yeah.
like dynamic documentaries.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that was made at Tyndall while I was there flying as an instructor. A friend of mine was very close to the production, did a lot of the help with the camera work and setting things up and the scheduling and all this stuff. He has a bunch of the footage. So they took what was for then very extremely modern and good cameras, and they actually bolted them onto rails and things on the airplane. So you got this really good footage, and the flying in that is real. I mean, it's they're flying. They're flying BFM missions and ACM, and some of the students that were there. They followed a couple of students, so they did that kind of documentary follow them through idea. And unfortunately, it was a little bit cheesy. The problem is when they took all the footage back to LA, they tried to I guess Los Angeles it or Hollywood it.
Yeah.
So for what I thought was a compelling enough story, if you just did it by the book, they had to create all these. You know how they did it, and they still kind of do it, where you get this little mini build up to some kind of problem, and then it goes to commercial, and then when you come back, you resolve it, and then it's always the ups and downs, and then
it's the hook to keep people watching.
Yeah, the little stories of drama within the thing, and they tried to do all this stuff. It was a little much. It was just obviously since it failed, it didn't really do much. But
it's quite interesting. Just around midnight was saying he was in the Navy when Top Gun came out, because one of the interesting things is, and Stickler's talking about Navy jets, is that you're US Air Force, aren't you? Not you didn't fly Navy,
right?
So you flew USAF.
Right.
Is it that different? Because it seemed to, when you were talking about things like terminology and so on, that it's a world apart. You know, the
well, it's not different. All the concepts are the same. There's nothing that the Air Force does in terms of air-to-air combat that's some kind of special thing the Navy doesn't do. But the terminology can be quite different. Although it has to a large extent come together. We've done a lot to try to do that. It's better that everybody on the team is talking the same stuff. And in general, in tactical parlance, it's very close. But there are still some specific Navy things and some specific Air Force things that either stick around or need to be there, because things like talking about landing on a carrier and the specific tactics for that, or procedures, I guess, we don't need that, right? So that's something that's in there. And the Navy's terminology for things like their commander, somebody actually told me what it was, but the Navy does this thing where they have this acronym, which is like half the word, half acronym, and command,
like
blah blah blah.
Whoever.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we have like PACAF commander, so it goes on and on with a lot of that stuff. But
because also the ranks are different, I guess, as well. So you've got like the captain of the ship is an equivalent of
that's pretty big, because the Air Force and Army, as the Air Force split from the Army, we kept the same ranks for officers. For officers, we have slightly different for enlisted.
Right.
The Marines have the same ranks for officers that we have.
Right.
So it's.
See, I never get you have. Nomenclature that is, for example, an EO6. I mean, that doesn't. There is nothing like that in the British military. You know what I mean? So
it's a different way to say the same thing. So if you're a captain, you're an O3, officer, third rank of the officers, lieutenant, second lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain in the Air Force. Which gets a little odd when you start talking Navy, because the Navy's captain is an O6. Like he's a full bird. He's much higher than an Air Force captain. A lot of stuff happens where an Air Force captain will call a Navy base and say, "This is Captain so and so. I need whatever," and they're like, "Yes, sir." And you got to be careful.
Well, I had that from a half colonel. What's a half colonel?
Lieutenant colonel.
Lieutenant colonel in the US. when the first Gulf kicked off, we had to go and purchase MLRS rocket systems off you guys because we had the training pods and everything else, but we never had it was 5 heavy artillery regiment that was training on them because you guys were kind enough to lend us to train on them. But we didn't have the real thing, so we had to go off to a place called Cavorden in northern Holland, where you guys stored all your... I don't believe this will be ComSec now, it's 30, 40 years ago, so I can say it, stored your MLRS live rocket pods and everything else. So we had to go and buy them. Now, I was a colour sergeant at the time, which is 3 stripes and a crown. So, of course, we now, the British military, have the rank there, but in those days, you just either there or on your arm.
Yeah.
So I had it on my epaulet up there. And a half colonel met me at the base up in Holland to do the purchase. It was $386,000 for a couple of pods to take away. Anyway, so he came up to me and he... "Oh, sir." And I was like, no, I'm just a colour sergeant, mate. You don't salute me.
Goes the other way, actually.
Saluting you.
Yeah, it goes the other way.
Awesome. Had a half colonel salute me. Thank you, sir.
Well, a lot of times you just look at how many little doodads are there and take an educated guess as to what's going on with it.
Yeah. There's a lot of like gold stuff up here. It's like, well, salute that then.
Yeah, the U.S. military, we because we deal with so many other militaries, it's always funny trying to figure out who's who in the zoo.
Yeah, what's what?
Yeah. All right, cool. How did we get there? Oh, we were talking about Top Gun.
Cool. It was all about Top Gun.
Yeah. So I will go see it.
Ah, cool.
All right, cool.
Do you want to talk about the TS-55?
I do.
Right.
Double barrel, U.S. tank. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah. I'll come back to Stickler's question in a minute.
What was it?
Yeah. It was, why is the British salute palm out?
Why is the British salute palm out?
Right, well, there's 2 things that go on there. The British salute for the army is palm out, because what you're doing is, you know this, and I guess most of the military guys know this, in the UK, in England, back in the medieval days, when we used to ride horses and be knights and have swords, the sword was always drawn with the right hand. So there's nobody's ever left-handed in the UK, because left-handed meant you were the work of the devil. So everybody was right-handed, so your sword was on the left, you drew your sword to fight your battle. So what they used to do is, as knights used to cross each other, that's why we drive on the left, we used to show an open palm, to say we're not armed, we're not drawing our sword, we don't have a dagger, we're no threat. So that's where that salute come from. Now, the only people who don't salute like this in the British military is the bloody Navy, right? The Air Force do whatever. They just go, yeah, whatever. Yeah, exactly. The Navy, they do the, you know, I'm trying to get a straight wrist here, but they do the
that's
US
what we do.
salute.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's what you do. The reason for that is that Queen Victoria left the barracks and went to one of the naval ports of the day, Portsmouth probably, and was saluted by one of the navvies that used to work down in with the old shoveling the coal in the ships. And he did that, and his hands were filthy black, and she went, "Oh, I don't want to see your dirty hand." So the Navy had to change the salute to that. So no dirty hands were shown. Bloody Navy, eh?
That is the dumbest story I have ever heard.
This is true. Queen Victoria went, "I don't want to see his dirty hands." I'll tell you another tangent.
I don't even know. I can't even with that. All right, go ahead.
Okay, I'll tell you another tangent about Queen Victoria.
So hold on a minute. Let's just recap the 2 things we've learned here. The first one I knew. The first one was, why is it out? Well, because manly men on giant war horses and armor would come up to each other, and instead of starting to hack each other's limbs off, they would raise their right hand, which was their weapon hand, and they would knock their visor up and salute. So you could see who they were, and they're like, "I am not an enemy." And that is the one of the coolest things of all time. And so through the annals of history, we have kept that tradition, and we salute as a sign of respect another higher ranking officer.
Yes.
Then we flexed into some dirty Navy enlisted guy is just trying to get along. His hands are dirty because they work him to death, and he lives on a piece of bread, mealworms, and a ration of 1 thimble of rum a month.
Yep.
Salutes his monarch in the correct manner and gets crapped on for having dirty hands.
Gets slapped for having a dirty hand. You filthy beast. How dare you? That's Her Majesty Queen Victoria, and you're doing this with a dirty hand. What on earth is that all about?
So,
she had a habit. Queen Victoria had a habit of dealing at a very low personal level with the military. It was her army. There was no air force at the time, but it was her army and her navy. So this is why the Brigade of Guards, i.e. the Scots Guards, the Welsh Guards, the Grenadiers and the Coldstreams, they were the only regiments that were allowed to guard royal residences until very recently.
Right.
So they did...
Because they were the loyal ones.
With the big bear skins and all the rest of it. Right. They were the only people allowed to do it. Now anybody in the army could do it.
Because other units tended to side with rebels, and the nasty things would happen to the monarchs.
Yes, exactly. So now they have a different badge structure for their ranks. They have the same ranks. They have Lance Corporal, Private Lance Corporal, Corporal, Sergeant, Colour Sergeant, or Staff Sergeant, depending on whether you're teeth arm or not, Sergeant Major, Regimental Sergeant Major, and so on. However, Queen Victoria was clopping out of Buckingham Palace in one of her state coaches one day, and there was a guardsman there who was a Lance Corporal. Now, a Lance Corporal, private first class in the US Army, Lance Corporal gets a single stripe, like that. Private doesn't get anything. A full corporal gets 2 stripes, a sergeant gets 3, and so on. So she's clip-clopping. She turns to her aide-de-camp, enquiry, captain, whoever, and she said, "Oh, looks rather bare on that arm. Can we not give him another one?" So all the Lance Corporals in the Guards regiments have 2 stripes.
Even though they're still Lance Corporals.
But they're only Lance Corporals. If you've got 3 stripes, you're a corporal. If you've got 3 stripes but a gold band on your peak, you're a sergeant.
Just in those units.
Guards.
Just in those units.
Just in the Guards regiments.
But they don't get paid anymore. It's the same. They're the same rank.
Yeah. They're exactly. So they don't have any higher authority over.
That is so That is such a British solution to that. What she probably meant in her mind was, promote that guy.
She probably wasn't actually. She didn't like them.
She just wanted an extra stripe on there. Okay.
It looks a bit bare on his arm. Can't he have another one? So yes.
Captain's like, well, hell, we put 52 on there, but I'm not changing his rank.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Stickler. That's a hard question. United
Kingdom, my
Great
goodness.
Britain, and England. Okay, Here we go. Very quickly. United Kingdom is the 3 kingdoms of Scotland, England, and Wales. Okay, that's Great Britain includes Northern Ireland and all the other little islands like the Isle of Man and Jersey and Guernsey and all that lot. And then England is England. England is a bespoke country that rule the rest. We are the ring that rules the rest.
So England is the island minus Scotland and Wales.
Yeah, well, we rule them anyway, but yeah.
Well, I know, but if you said just the English, you would not be including Welsh or Scottish people.
No, that's right. It's at the border of Wales, the border of Scotland. England is England.
Right.
So United Kingdom is the 3 kingdoms, and then Great Britain includes everybody else, the whole shebang. And including the colonies, if you want to throw them in as well.
Wayne, but that show is about the start of that, actually. How Wessex essentially turned into, eventually, England.
Yeah.
That's
a good old story.
Once they stomped all the Britons into the dirt.
Yeah.
Who, frankly, were there first. I don't know. Those were your Aboriginals. I'm not sure what y'all are doing over there, Saxons.
Well, you see, the problem we've got in the United Kingdom, Mercia, Wessex, and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
My old regiment, the Cheshire Regiment, is now part of what's called the Mercian Regiment, because Mercia was the sort of the centralised area of the island of United Kingdom, and that's where England came. But Gio's in the house. Gio, haven't seen you for ages. Well done, Gio.
Hey, Gio.
Yeah. That'll be a good story to actually watch. There's It's interesting if you're interested in history.
Right, right. Yeah, it is. It is actually interesting. So, here's a question. Since we're on a total tangent, are you guys able to figure out who has original Brit? What were they called? Breton.
Celtics.
T-O-N. Bretons.
Celtic. Oh no, Bretons are French, but it's Celtic. The Celts were the original. The Celts were originally the population, the indigenous population.
So the Bretons came over at some other point from
They're
Normandy.
bloody French. They are the Bretons.
Oh, okay. But a group Celts, of them came over into the southern part of England, right? And
yeah. The reason for that was, don't forget, the English Channel wasn't always water. There used to be a land bridge there.
Oh, so when you say they're French, you mean a long, long time ago from the mainland.
Anyway,
before France was even a thing. Well, you're really mixing it up.
French have always been a thing. They've always been there. The smelly French, that's them, right? Normans and all the rest of them.
But Angles and Saxons are from over there as well.
Well, the Anglos and the Saxons, the Anglos descended from the Celtic races. So for the Celts are the original, the Druids, and going back that way. They were the indigenous population of the island for a long time, and then the Anglos, the Saxons came over from Germany, I think, in that area,
northern Europe.
The Bretons are bloody French, and then the Normans came and cocked it all up all together. Now we got people called ADP de Gavain.
If you're honest, there really aren't any English people.
Not anymore. No.
You're just a melting pot like everybody else. Yeah. All right, that's as political as we're going to get.
Well, yeah.
That was history. History.
The Welsh are pretty much a single bloodline, so the Welsh will always tell you that we are. They call us Mebibian de Bastardo, which is sons of 1,000 bastards. Is what the English.
Yeah, the Welsh are they picked? Is that right originally?
Yeah, it goes that sort of way back. It goes Pict. It goes Celtic. The Scots, well, they're sort of all Vikings now, aren't they?
Right.
But there are little pockets. For example, the Isle of Anglesey, which is in North Wales, which is not far from Liverpool and all that sort of stuff. But the Isle of Anglesey were the very last stand of the Druids and the original Celts before the Romans invaded. The Romans never got to Anglesey until the very last. They because there was a stretch of water between the two. So some of the people in Anglesey are the original indigenous bloodline, if you like.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's cool.
Tangent, History Channel.
Well, that's the other thing, because then you've got a large dose of Roman blood that showed up. Because there was intermarriage in there, so I mean
there's a lot. Well, there's a lot of Italian in us as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Much like the rest of southern Europe, to southern Europe, there's plenty of in the Mediterranean and everywhere else they went. Awesome, man.
My name is actually indigenously. It's Welsh. My father was Welsh. He lived in England most of his life, but he's Welsh born. But my grandfather was a Welsh miner, little old geezer with a bald head. Used to do the old mine, but he was proper Welsh. He wouldn't speak English. He spoke Welsh all his life.
I've been there, man. Yeah, they speak Welsh first to find out if you are or not, and then they adjust their reactions to you accordingly.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. If you're American, they'll talk English too because they like you.
They will. I mean, that's my story. We were in a Boots or something. I was trying to get we had forgotten, of all things, we'd forgotten our Burley, so we had to buy one. We had the kid. Right. The kids were young at the time, so we were trying to get up to. We were actually at Carnarvon in the town there.
Carnarvon.
Yeah, so we're in the town, and we're going to grab that so we can go up to the castle and walk around, but it was drizzling, so we wanted something because we'd forgotten it like idiots. We are not English, so we didn't have it with us in our back pocket.
You don't have one in the back pocket.
Yeah. And I was just chatting with my wife, but we weren't being very loud, kind of back and forth. And she was ringing someone else up. When I walked up, I have to assume she thought I was Welsh or just was doing the standard. I'm going to speak Welsh to find out and didn't know. And she starts speaking. I'm looking at her like, and it took me by surprise because I didn't know at that time that they spoke that much Welsh there.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, I'm sorry, I only speak English. And she swung right into English. She was perfectly nice.
Yeah, yeah.
But she was definitely feeling me out because she didn't know or had heard me and didn't know the accent or whatever. Or that was her standard MO, I don't know.
Well, it is very much in North Wales, the standard MO. They will speak Welsh, and they're very proud of that.
Yeah.
They have a problem with Southern Wales, with the south of Wales, is they consider the south of Wales pointy heads, is what they call them, because they were overrun by the English.
Right.
But North Wales has never been
in the hilly / mountainous area where they were held out.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, that's fascinating because the coolest castles there are English castles.
Yeah, no.
That were built to keep down the Welsh.
Yeah, exactly.
And all the Welsh castles were destroyed by the English. If you go to a Welsh ruin, it's a proper ruin. There's not much left. Yeah. If you go to another one that's more or less standing, like Carnarvon, for example, that was built by the English, by King the Eighth.
Yes.
Second?
Yes,
I don't remember. Yeah, Henry VIII.
Well, it was originally started before Henry. I think it was Richard.
Right.
One of the Richards was
but they built a whole series around the place to just try to keep these guys.
And the Romans tried, didn't they? I mean, the Romans had Chester, which was called Ladinium or something like that. But Chester was as far as they could get into Wales, so they just built a big wall.
That's right.
Said, I'd sod it.
That's right. All right. Hey, let's go back to tanks, man. This here's a thing I wanted to talk about because it is something that they just, I don't know, they just keep doing this kind of thing. Let me find it where it's on 2-line push. Let's see, was it here or was it on the other? Actually, I think it was on Armor Patrol. Let me get it here because the rewards for that new mode, whatever it's called. What's the new mode called?
I've got it written down. Strategy event.
Yeah, strategy event. Where the hell is it? Of course, now I can't find it. Obviously, dopey. They had the stickers. Matchmaking spread. We can get to that in a minute. Well, dang. I can't find it. Terrible F. Well, that's irritating because I just had it. Let's do this. Here it is. All right. Found it.
You got it.
Yep. So the rewards for stickers for Art of Strategy stickers and inscriptions.
Right. Yeah, no.
Hold on, it gets better. Oh, let me go to gotta go to the actual article here. This is Veronica, folks.
Right.
Veronica's well endowed. This is Victoria, who's wearing her extremely short military issue mini skirt with red.
Yeah.
This looks like, I don't know. Is there a stripper pole involved here? I don't know.
I don't know, but
and
that's
then
how
we've got
military
that's how our military women roll. And then there's Nicole, who I'm not sure if I'm going to be too bothered if she tortures me. I don't know.
I'll tie myself up. Never mind.
Some kind of garter, short hooker boots going on.
I don't know.
Now look, we've gone over this a couple times. I like pretty women. I feel like I'm a red-blooded kind of a guy.
What males normally like.
Yeah, but I also work with some pretty awesome women in the military, and that's not the gig. It's not the gig. And it sounds like white knighting. I don't give a damn if that's what you think it is. Personally, I don't care if this stuff kind of exists. I think it's stupid for a giant company to continue to do it.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the idiot, and they make lots of money, and they know their audience, and I'm out of touch. Possibly. Maybe. I don't know. But why? I don't get it, dude. I don't understand it.
No. Seriously, if you were a 14-year-old lad, that might be appealing. Maybe.
Well, that's obviously...
There are probably lots of 14-year-old lads.
Oh, clearly. I mean, that's the obvious reason for it. And there's different mores. The company is based in Eastern Europe. We've gone over this a couple times, but I kind of don't get it in 2022 why you're continue to do stuff like that.
No, and I don't believe it's white knighting. I believe there is a level of respect with men. There's a level of respect for women and what women are and what women are trying to be and all the rest of it. And as you said, you have and you do work with significantly very professional women military people, and I have nothing but respect, and I wouldn't want 1 minute to consider them in that vein whatsoever. I wouldn't dress my dog like that, never mind anything else.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not some frumpy,
I'm a realist. I'm not an old man.
I don't get it, dude. They continue to do stuff like this. And of course the stickers with the dudes are this kind of stuff. And, here's the guy. Well, how come there's not a sticker like that with a woman who's not complete? Let's just call it for what it is. It's sexualizing these stickers. And I get it. People like it, okay. Hey, yeah, World War II, there were pinups. Yep, absolutely. But it's 2022. So why not have a selection? Well, how come there's not, just a woman that's dressed like this guy, so that the ladies who play the game don't have to have the sexualized pinup model sticker. They can select that one. And if people like this stuff, then great, it's there. But it's not. That's not what's going on here. It's only the one.
Yeah, exactly.
I
mean, Ice Dragon makes a good point. Sex sells, of course it does. But
100%. I am not denying any of that, and I'm not even saying I'm necessarily completely against it. No. I want people to get the content they want. I'm not here to
it's not white knighted. It's just
I'm not here to call for it to be banned or canceled or anything like that.
No,
but at the same time, we got to call it for what it is.
Yeah.
It's clear exploitation of the sex sells thing.
Yeah. Why do it? No need to do it. Or if you're going to do it both ways.
Do both ways if you're going to do it. Yeah. But of course, they've chosen not to because there's probably not as big a market in their demographic for that kind of thing. My counter argument to that is, well, if you want to build a demographic that's not that one, then you have to stop doing this kind of stupidity. Or at least open up your aperture past that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, just make it more, make a generic type thing. Make it non-specific to the gender or whatever it might be. Offer the option. That's the thing.
It's like if we're going to get past all that to where we can accept both, we have to have both.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care that you have a pin-up and enjoy that. I happen to enjoy it. I do. It's, pretty ladies are my thing. Pretty men are other dudes' things. I got it. But, and I'm not saying it has to explode into every freaking striation and variation you can come into.
We're not talking, let's get woke with this or anything.
No. For example, why, and I think to a large extent, we're getting a little bit better, but why is it that the female crews are prizes?
Yeah.
Why isn't it that you can just why in the year 2022 can you not select male or female for your crew?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and just have who you want in.
Who cares? Well, it's not World War II. Well, okay, but except that now we have female prizes.
These tanks are not World War II either.
Yeah,
so, I think and we understand that to be honest, it's a culture thing from that side of the world. I truly believe that it's the culture catch up with how we deal with things in our culture isn't quite there yet, I guess, and whether it ever will be.
Yeah, and I guess at the end of the day, it's maybe it just doesn't matter that much.
Well, as poor old Sods' quote there, 2.0 will probably remove all that problem anyway.
Yeah,
for crews, but not for decals.
I just think it's funny that they just keep doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Seems strange to me.
Yeah.
Because, you have to... it's a dead horse. The bottom line is, when you're an international company in today's day and age, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot by doing that stuff. You can do it. I'm not saying you can't... I'm not saying I'm going to boycott or start a big problem, although here I am talking about it, obviously. I just find it odd that you don't see the current situation.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Yeah.
But
it's like just a lack of vision, I think, a lack of awareness and vision. That's what I think it's all about. It's an entrenched idea. Why does it have to be?
See, Randall, and I'm with you 100%. And I do understand that. I'm not talking about going back and canceling the past.
No.
Or necessarily being mad about it. I am completely a person who wants to understand the context of the past. I'm not going to judge necessarily people that did what they did because the times are different. I'm talking about today.
Yeah.
Right? It's 2024. And so in that context, if you want to have that stuff, that's fine. But how come they can't do
everything
modern?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anywho,
it's balanced, like the rest of the game, says Atos.
It's a pretty hard subject, really. At the end of the day, there's no easy answer to it.
There's very polarized decisions.
It is.
There's very polarized.
Yeah.
Opinions about things like that. So
but I think
it's a statement.
I think that the end thing for me is, at least the reason I bring it up, because I find it interesting in terms of modern companies. That it is interesting to me that this company continues to do stuff like that. I don't think you would ever see an American company continue to do that. Although I could be wrong, because I suppose if you look at video games, maybe it's the video game industry as a whole, there are plenty of American video games where the female characters are running around in bikinis, essentially. And the male characters are all armored up, and they got, if you have female armor, it's a bikini armor, that kind of idea, right?
Or it's very, very closely fitted shape.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it sells, so,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think one of the best games for the non-specific gender type uniforms is Destiny. Destiny, whether it's female or male, generally they look the same-ish. That's quite clever. That's quite good. I like that.
So there you go.
I wish I could.
I don't know. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably full of crap.
We're just old fogies.
Stupid old people. Oh, so here's the other part of that. I'd forgotten. Here's the second part of that. This is fantastic. And it only really applies to America, but let me try to find the article again. Because the new maps... let's see if I can find it here. Further. Ah, yes, there we go. So this is only going to apply to America. This map is called Plantation.
Right. Of course.
Now, to the rest of the world, and it's actually based in Southeast Asia, where there are plenty of plantations. That's what they call them there, but the connotation in the U.S. is completely different than calling something a plantation down there. So the world is not U.S. centric, but again, the sensitivities, this company has to manage a lot of crap and balance a lot of places. So on the one hand, you can call something in one country and they're not bothered, don't even think about it. In the U.S., the name plantation is very
contentious, isn't it?
Contentious, controversial. I don't like it. I hate that kind of stuff. But that's the fact on the ground in the U.S. And this company's trying to sell stuff in the U.S.
Yeah,
I think they need to consider not naming it Plantation. I'm just chucking that out there for them.
Maybe call it. Yeah, exactly. They can call it something.
There's a million. They could call it. I don't know. Southeast Asia. There's a bazillion things. It doesn't have to be called. It doesn't even look like one. What's being farmed here? It's a random map of stuff, right? There's no fields or banana trees or anything that I can tell. It doesn't really look like a Southeast Asian plantation to me. I'm recommending Wargaming that you not call this map Plantation. I'm just chucking that out there.
Poor old Gio has had to go and find a safe place now.
And again, I'm not advocating for woke cancellation. I'm just saying these are you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Sensitivity.
Well, there's no reason. It's just name it anything else, and you can avoid all kinds of stupidity in North America. Again, we're not the center of the game. I got it, but it's an important
It's just having locational sensitivity, isn't it? I mean, okay, if you want to take the extreme, they've withdrawn the Minsk map from the.
Well, that's a
the
great
location.
example. A great
Yeah.
example, and that's because everybody was up in a lather
Yeah,
about it. You know.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
So maybe the right answer then is, Guido, screw you, call it plantation, get over it. In America, it's not a plantation in the context of what you're saying. So shut up. All right, acceptable. I can probably take that.
Yeah, but then people have a perception of, everybody has their own perception, so there'll be a lot of people who will perceive that is what it is, that it's being called something that is offensive to, or not offensive, but just
Well,
insensitive.
I'm already
to
going
US.
into the chat stuff that will come out of the
Yeah.
pie hole of idiots
Yeah,
in North America, right? You get on the plantation map, and then they're off to the races with their stupidity,
yeah.
right?
I mean, the forums would be full of it, wouldn't it?
I don't know. Yeah, so
Hey ho,
general chat is back. Are you kidding?
really? Oh, you've got a gifted sub.
Oh, thank you so much. Disguised as an adult, fantastic. Gave out one
Good
community
night.
sub gift to Ver Shady. Thank you so much. Disguised as an adult. I like that. Me
I like
too.
that.
I can't get my general chat to connect.
No, I can't. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is. I don't know
So,
whether
I can't prove that one way or the other. Other than it's not working for me right now. Right now, anyway. So there you go. That's that. Hey, you guys want a chieftain?
Why? What sort of chieftain are we talking
Well,
about?
it's kind of a Walmart chieftain, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, so this version of a chieftain.
A Walmart chief.
Yeah, the 4202 Chieftain Proto. Although it
Oh,
says,
right,
says
okay, yeah,
4201 right here, so I don't think it's the 4202. 4201 Chieftain Proto. Tier 9. Reward or premium? I don't know. It's in the closed super test, so it's a ways away, but it's out there. So another version. There's already 3 if you look in tanks.gg. There's already 3.
Do you know what's going to happen? This is going to be sold. It'll go through. It'll be sold. People will think it's the chieftain variant and will buy it. And I bet you it'll be a sack of nails. It'll just be a bag of frogs. Won't it?
Bag of frogs. Bag of frogs.
All croaking away and jumping.
It doesn't have the tier 10. It doesn't have the tier 10 turret. It's got one of the earlier versions of it. I'm trying to find the actual pictures of this thing. There are better pictures out there. Let's see here they are. So it doesn't have that smooth, impenetrable, beastly Chieftain tier 10 turret. It's it's got more weak spots. I think it's got a much larger hatch on the top. So I don't know what the turret looks like. There's no stats that I have found on it yet, although it might be in tanks.gg. I haven't looked. It's hard to sort out through the chieftains because there's 3 versions of it at tier 10 right now.
Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? Yeah.
Out there. So they're working on a tier 9. I guess, is that their fix for people being mad about chieftains? We'll give you the Walmart tier 9 version and you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's fine. You've got one now. Stop moaning.
Deal with it.
Stop moaning about it.
Yeah, deal with it, you loser. Yeah, and then there's a tier 8 one, right?
Majestic has followed you.
Oh, right on. There's a tier 8 one as well. Thank you, Madstick. Right on, man.
It is a blue light special, Geo. In fact, for that chieftain, I should switch it on, shouldn't I? Go and get yourself that chieftain.
Bitwise says it's 350. Goodness gracious.
350 turret armor.
Yeah.
No.
Apparently.
Okay. All right.
Oops.
Time will tell.
Is it in tanks.gg? Let me see. We'll go to tier 9 Brits. No, it's not in there yet. They've got just the Conqueror and the Conqueror FL in there right now. Yeah, so there's the Chieftain Mark 6. These are, I don't know if they're all released, but we've got the stats on them. Chieftain Mark 6, T95/Chieftain, T95/FV4201 Chieftain, and then the tier 8. Well, it's not listed. Why is it not listed? Huh. Oh, it's a medium. Chieftain / T95
Right.
is a medium.
Yeah.
So there's 4 chieftains in the game. 3 of them are tier 10 right now, and one of them's tier 8. Although I don't know if the chieftain Mark 6. Does anybody have those? I don't know. It's got the it looks like it's got the turret that the new chieftain, the tier 9 chieftain's going to have. Actually, looking at the model,
Yeah.
it's a mess.
Actually, like Kedge says, everybody's got a chieftain. They're not they're not as scary as they were. Yeah, because it is a good tank. I agree with it. It is an OP tank, but if you're not a very good player with it, you I've seen them YOLO, thinking in game people have just got them, and they probably think, oh, I'm bulletproof, and they YOLO away, die within 5 minutes, and you're like, well,
give us 5 minutes, guys. We got to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we be back. Whew. All right, feel much better.
yeah.
All right, we had some chat in here. Would split the player base. Is that talking about giving chieftains? Now everyone has a chieftain now. I'm not as awesome. Not as awesome with them now because of the people. Yeah. We've discussed that before because it is kind of a case of, yes, it can be beat like any tank, but that doesn't diminish that in the right hands it's extremely good. Yeah. So it's still a very good tank.
Yeah.
The fact that it can be beat, and if bad players play it, they play it badly, I don't think changes much of anything.
No, because the odds are that you're not always going to come across that anyway, and you'll get to come across just as many good players with one as you will bad players with one, and even bad players can probably find a hold down position and do stuff with it. So
yeah,
it's just overpowered all round. So it's just hard to play against. Yeah. I mean, any tank is beatable, like you said, but it just makes that extra element. I always when I see the team makeup and I always see T95 Chieftain on the enemy team, I always think, okay, that's going to be a deciding factor. We need to deal with that tank first before everything else. Whether that's right or wrong, but I always go and try and find that tank and try and deal with that, because
I almost never do that. I almost never look. I very rarely look at a tank lineup and say I need to deal with that guy or that tank. I try to deal with the tanks I'm faced with and go to the right, and then I think mid to late game is more when I start to do that. When I start to know where they are and go, okay, I can't go over there because I know that JPZ's there, or hey, we need to deal with this guy who's locking down this corner. But it's not necessarily the tank. It's probably more the positioning or its line of sight or something that. The one thing I will say, and I don't sell out to do it, but I will think in the back of my mind, if it's like proc and they have a scout, like man, it'd be really good. It'd be really good to get rid of that scout. But I don't think I change a lot of what I'm doing just to kill it. I might situationally, if I'm given an opportunity, change what I was doing to try to kill it. But I won't go in the back of my head immediately and go, ooh, I'm out to get X tank.
Well, that's interesting, because the way I look at when I look at the team setup at the beginning of the battle, what I'll do is I'll go, okay, those particular tanks, given the meta, would more than likely go to that position. So if I wanted to take that on, I would go to that position, to the opposite side to that, to the same position. So the T95 Chieftain would more than likely run with the heavies. In my opinion, would more than likely run with the heavies, because that's where he's going to take he's going to remove as much damage from the enemy team.
Well, I guess all else being equal, I mean, if it's a case of where I can do it, but I'm probably going to those positions anyway. If that's the tank I'm running that goes to that position, and that's what I want to do. So I don't. I sometimes I do. I can't say always. Occasionally, I'll avoid a spot because I know a tank will probably be there. But generally, no. I just try to outplay them because more than likely you need to be there anyway, and it's just unlucky that they have a better tank for that position. But
there are instances that you can apply to. Sometimes, if you, for example, in the T10, the Russian heavy, you can run with the mediums,
right?
Because you're fast enough to do that, and your armor then gives you that advantage because you're going to go to a medium spot and face other mediums. So there are the situations.
Certainly, where you can go, okay, based on everything I'm seeing, I'm not going there. But the reason is I have a reason. It's not necessarily just because that tank is going there. I don't avoid a spot just because the tank's going there. It's the whole situation. And like you said, maybe I'm in a T10. I'm like, A, I don't want to fight that guy there. I'll do that later. B, I can be a force multiplier with these guys because I can keep up with them. We'll just destroy that flank and we'll deal with him later. So absolutely, those are all.
No, I don't do it with every tank, but I do it with if I see a T95 Chieftain. I think for me it's a prove a point thing. I mean, okay, mate, you've got your T95 Chieftain. I'll bring whatever I've got in, and I'm going to see if I can kick your arse. So I want you first off. So, you don't find them until mid game anyway. But
I think Todd Templar's got it right though. If everything is too hard, just guard the Artie at base.
The base, just red line.
You'll get your two shots in. You might even get a kill because somebody will show up with low hit points. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. All right, that is all the stuff I had, man. What else did you have?
The only other thing I had was the study by Two Line Push.
Oh yeah.
Which was we haven't had time to dig into it. I've had a quick look this morning, but very interesting that there are some there's some very similar comparisons across the servers that he's done it against, EU and NA.
Yeah.
And then there are some outliers. So generally, is looking like it's working as Wargaming say it works, given that the survey and the study that he's done. And it's not just a small sample size. I think it's 50,000 battles he's looked at. Something like that, if I'm right.
Yeah. So let's take a look at this, see if we can glean anything. Yeah, so those are the raw numbers. Matchmaking tier by spread. Here's tier 8. -1. Okay, so +1 is 40% at tier 8. Trying to that's weird. How do I tell which ones are the same tier with this pie graph? Must be the +1 -1. Why is it two colors? I don't quite understand that. Why isn't that?
As I say, I haven't dug into it in any great detail, but
I'm obviously missing something there.
Right, you've got you're looking for tiers, you mean?
Well,
It's underneath the charts. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you read this, the pie charts, it's got the tier numbers underneath.
I get +2. I get -2, -1, +1, and then there's this green, yellow, -1 / +1. Wouldn't that be what this is? Is the equal the same tier? What is?
Well, let me get it up and I'll have a quick look.
I have to look what Clippy's saying because I can't figure this out.
It's a pecan pie, Hoplon. Pecan pie.
Yellow is middle tier.
Well, I'm just getting it up on, so because I can't see. I can see it on my screen on your stream, but I've got your picture very small, so I can read chat. So I'll have to get it up on a separate window.
Oh, that's right, because it shifts. It shifts.
Right, where are you looking at?
So 8 and a 7, 8, 9. But that's the +1, isn't it?
Well, okay, I'm looking at that. What are you doing?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why are there only 1, 2, 3, 4? Why are there only 5 cases for tier 7? Orange, red, purple.
Yeah, there's no green at tier 7. So what he's saying there, according to his study, for example,
Green is
tier
equal.
7.
Green is same tier.
Yeah, you never get same tier.
Oh, there is one on 7. It's extremely small.
Oh, yes, it is. It's
it's
blue
just
and the yellow.
tiny slice. Okay, now I'm tracking. All right, so green is equals. Okay, got it. Green is same tier. Green is same tier. I didn't notice the equal sign. I missed that right there. All right, so green is same tier. That seems about right to me. 40%. That's what it feels like quite often. So, which way are we going? +1 is
yellow. Plus or -1. The sort of bluey whatever colour that is, I think it's called cyan or something, isn't it? It's
so
+1.
This color means I'm middle tier.
Yeah.
With the 9, 8. Oh no, that's not true. God dang it! Which way? I can't figure this out. Which way does it go? I'm trying to conceptualize this in my brain.
Okay, so what it's saying is, like take tier 10. Because there's only.
No, I don't want to take tier 10 because that doesn't help me. I'm trying to figure out the ranking that an 8 can be in.
Okay, tier 8. On that, for the matchmaking spread by tier, it's saying that 40.5% of the time it's an all one tier battle, tier 8 battle.
There's the link, guys, right there. Yes,
okay.
the 40% is all tier 8. That one I get.
Yeah. If it's -1, so you see one tier below 5%, it's yellow. If you see 2 tiers below, it's red, 21%, 21.5%.
What's the orange?
-1.
You just told me yellow was -1.
No, -1 or +1. So it's given. It can be either. So the cyan is definitely +1, and the purple is +2. Why yellow is one or the other, I don't know.
Yellow is middle. Hold on, I got to write this down because my brain is not. I cannot conceptualize this. You can be an 8 in an 8, 7, 6. You can be an 8 in a
9 and 10.
It would be 9, 8, 7. Oh, there's the just 2. Now I'm okay. Wait a minute. I think I'm tracking it now. There's the only 2 tiers in a game. That's what the -1 +1 is.
Yes. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Are those all lumped together?
That must be, yeah, it show, yeah.
Is that including 8s and 7s and 8s and 9s?
Well, let's have a look at the charts. Hang on. So in a tier 8, yeah, it's saying, right, minus or plus 1 is 701 battles. So it's a very small amount of battles. All the others are in the thousands. So he actually checked 12,339 battles. And out of that, spread was 701 of those battles.
Well, I'm gonna have to look at that. I'm not able to wrap my mind around this right now. It's not making a lot of sense to me.
No,
At least not the visual representation. The pie chart is not making any sense to me.
Okay.
Most common spread, tier 6 or -2. I don't need that. Maybe this will help me now. I'm gonna have to look at this later because right now I have a block. I can't comprehend what I'm looking at.
Okay.
So this makes sense at tier 10. So 10,000 of them, I'm assuming, were pure tier 10, and then 3,000 of them, there were
you were plus
you
one.
and 9s. You and 9s.
Exactly.
And then 4,000 were you with 8s.
You were plus 2.
9s
so you
and
had
8s.
8s in
So
there.
at tier 8, that same logic is same. 830, you were a tier 8 with tier 7s. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then at plus 2...
it's the opposite way to the way you think.
It is. So at plus 2, you were tier 8s with 7s and 6s. And then it's going the other way where you're with higher tiers.
Yes.
This one being plus 1 or minus 1, plus or minus 1. Ace with 7s as the top guy. And 8s with 9s? Or is minus 1 with 9s? This one, I can't figure out this plus 1, minus 1. What the hell does that mean? Right on, Mustang. Appreciate that. Okay, Cliffy's spelling it out here. Red, 8, 9, 10. That's -2. All right, so you are -2. You're at the bottom. Orange is 8, 9. You are -1, so you got 8 9s. Yellow is 7, 8, 9.
So you get 1 up and 1 down.
Okay. All right. That's the piece I needed. There's 1 below you and 1 above you. That's what it's saying.
Yeah.
Aha. So sign is 8, 7 plus 1, which means there's... Wait, no. Now I'm backwards again. Your position is the plus or the minus. So you are...
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's back in front.
So you're 2 above, so that's a 3. That's 3 tiers. Plus 1 is only 2 tiers.
Yeah.
Because you're plus 1 with... And then that's equal tier. That makes sense. There's no plus or minus because everyone's the same. 1 above, 1 below. You. Wait. Yes, but 1 above or below you. 1 below you, 2 below you. So you're top tier here.
Yeah.
Red is your top tier. Okay. All right. Now I got it. Whew. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah, it took a bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I guess when it comes to the spread by map, which is the next one down, the same principles apply. So he's using the same principle, but he's broke it down into maps as well.
So you're top tier in the 3 tier 21% of the time, and you are top tier in 2 tiers 19% of the time. You're top tier 40% of the time.
Yeah.
That is not what it feels like, but there you go.
No,
That's
it doesn't feel like that, does it?
Yeah.
No.
And then if you add the same tier, so there's never a disadvantage for, according to these numbers, for 46 and some change, 47, almost 50% of the time.
Yeah.
You're not at a tier disadvantage, which means 50% of the time you are.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah. Did I bring in equal? I didn't bring in equal. Nope, because then you got to throw equal in.
So yeah, what they're saying is you're less likely to be you're more likely to be at a disadvantage.
So really, this number is saying at tier 8, you were only at a disadvantage 12, 13% of the time.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that way, does it?
No, it doesn't. Mustang Cobra Jet subscription from Kedge. Thanks, Kedge. Somebody's calling BS. Who is that? It's all black on my screen. Hopline calls BS. Now, okay, so where did he get these numbers? He did...
Right, well, he did what he said, he did a
63,000
50,000, random battles.
Skirmishes.
Standard.
Wait. Not all, but a large portion of the removed plays were okay. So there's a bit of noise in this data.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear to be all random battles. It would be better if it was all random battles, and that's not really what I'm reading here. Followed by not all, but a large proportion. Well, that doesn't mean he didn't take out all of this stuff.
No. But what he does is, how do I define matchmaking spread? Just a little bit further down under the paragraph. And if you click on that to expand, it tells you what he means by the spread. -2, -1, -1 + 1 equal, and so on.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot here, so you could definitely dig into this for a while. It looks like... Where'd the colors go? There we go. So green is equal. At tier 10, I mean, you're always either going to be equal or top tier.
Yeah.
Cool. There's a lot of good stuff in there, man.
Yeah. It's a lot of work he's done.
He's got it broken down by map, too.
Yeah. He's got maps, and he's also got servers. So he's broke it down between the EU and the NA servers.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is quite interesting because both servers sort of match up, with the exception of the red, the -2, and that's, I guess, it's down to population numbers on the server.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of difference, actually, especially if you add the red and the orange together.
Yeah,
that's 13%, and that's 46% for those two numbers. Although everything's quite different, to be honest with you. I mean, the purple's 7%, 20%. That's statistically significant, I think. So
yeah, and I think that's down to numbers, isn't it? I think that's
a
numbers game. Yeah, the quantity of players.
See, EU 1 and 2 is very similar.
Yeah.
That is probably, to me, one of the more interesting graphs on that whole thing right there.
Yeah.
And then here's the breakout spread-wise. I don't know if is it a similar amount of games? It is not a similar amount of games.
No.
It's only 4,000 on EU and it's 13,000 on NA. So I don't know if you can. That makes me feel like the EU. If the EU number was the same amount of battles, I'd be a little more comfortable with that.
Yeah. But I guess it's because. Well, if you go back to the beginning of his spiel, he said he's now focusing on the EU, because I think he focused quite hard on the NA server, I think.
Right.
And then...
All right, Mustang. Thanks. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. No, we've covered it, I think.
At all times during analysis, nice 2 minutes per play. Yeah. Yeah, Cliffy. That's that kind of... I don't know how much you can take from that when you've got that different of a sample size. And frankly, those are fairly small. I mean, the matchmaker works in terms of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, I would imagine. That's how it's designed over time. So maybe even more, who knows. But that's fairly low. I mean, it's decent. It's an interesting exercise, but I don't... As far as making,
you can't. I wouldn't put my mortgage on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, making sweeping generalizations about the differences of these two based on those two numbers, I would hold off on that. Yeah. It's interesting on the face, and maybe it continues. I don't know, but it is significantly different enough that you have to ask yourself what's going on and why. Maybe nothing if you get the same sample size. Maybe they close in together.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'd have to
I mean, Hopland makes a good point, and then we start to talk about skill-based matchmaking then. is no issue with the spread, more of a problem with the player imbalance between teams picked out of the queue. There's a whole gamut with that.
Yeah, but bitwise,
player imbalance.
Yeah, bitwise, don't you think the difference in the two though is suspect? I mean, there's 3 times as many battles roughly being assorted on the NA. So I'm automatically suspicious because they're so different.
Yeah.
The even number is close, but it's still 12% off.
Yeah.
Blue number's close, but it's still 5%. These numbers are really wacky right here. They're not even close.
No. I think it was a good exercise to do. I think you're quite right. You'd need a sample size of, say, I don't know, probably talking 200,000-300,000, really, to get a more reflective and more accurate picture.
Man, I have no idea what you would need. I'm just queuing in on the difference between these two. I mean, if they both had 20,000, say they both had 13,000, I think.
Oh yeah, if it's equal number of battles, yeah, maybe that, yeah.
So I just feel like within only 4,000, you could get some fairly significant swings in terms of percentages.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, because it's too small a size. The difference between the two is too big as well.
I wonder what would happen if he took this number and just did the first 4,232 that he had.
Maybe.
From NA. I wonder if that would do anything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that'd be interesting. Take the exact same number of battles and put them together. That'd be interesting. Yeah. But like Bitwise says, the Bebe's theory, sample sizes don't need to be as large as you think.
But shouldn't they be similar if you're trying to compare something?
I would think so, but
yeah, I don't know.
And again, I mean, but the point's been made in chat. It's random. There's a lot of random.
Oh wait! Hold on. It's not as different as you thought. I'm reading this incorrect. I read grand total thinking that this was the grand total of all this, but it's clearly not. So I'm completely off base. EU had 29,000, NA had 20. They're not nearly as far off as I thought.
Oh, I didn't see
that. It's not this. Yeah, that's the grand total of these numbers coming across added up. So that's complete buffoonery on my part. So it's not that different actually. So now it is more interesting to me because those are significantly different numbers. So let's just look at tier 8. He's got 9,000 for. Well, see, that's not making sense. He has NA is skewed to tier 10 hugely. That's a problem, right?
Yeah.
Right, guys? Isn't that a problem if NA's numbers are, if 13,000 of NA's 20,000 are tiered 10?
Yeah. Yeah, that's not giving a reflection across all the tiers because the whole point of having that reflection about is to...
Well, because tier 9 and 10 don't have any data points here because they don't see that stuff, so it's... That's, yeah. I mean, I think it doesn't matter if you had a more even spread, but 13,000 of NA's now... So does that answer the problem with the NA's numbers? Probably. Yeah, because these...
Whether you're limited to what you're going to see as the tier 10, it's either going to be 10 and 9.
The majority are going to be, the green, what are the other colors? The green, shit, he doesn't have the... Does he not have the...
+1 or the...
Oh, there it is, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, the minus
brainless. One. So the majority of the NA numbers, which are 13,000 tier 10, are going to be green, blue, and purple.
Yeah.
So that answers the blue and purple. It probably answers these as well, because there's many fewer of the games that can show up with this. Yeah, so that's why it's jacked up. I bet he says that in there somewhere. Yep, he does right there. So he says that. It's right there. Majority of NA battles were tier 10, which may cause a disparity when comparing the May.
Does.
Yeah.
I think it's the operative word. Does.
Yeah. I think it's fair though to say may. He's doing stats, so that he's just putting the numbers the interpretation is always the interesting part of it. So I think I think everyone kind of thinks that's really. You actually have to delve deeper, just make sure it wasn't something else. You never know. It looks obvious to us, but when you're doing stats, man, it gets nutty. I like digging into it because I don't know as much about it as I should, and it's fun to try to figure out what's going on.
And it also when somebody's taking time out to compile that sort of data and stats, it's good to actually understand. I know it's just a game and we go in and play it and we have fun and all the rest, but it's also good to understand, because in the back of your mind, when you start to rage about, I've been stiffed again, well, actually, no, you haven't. It's, law of averages. It's just one of those things. And if you lose 10 battles on the run, then you might just win 10 battles on the run next time round. It's just the way it is. It's random, for crying out loud,
Perceptions, man.
Oh, yeah.
Perceptions and facts can often
it is
be
perception, isn't it?
two different things.
Yeah.
It would be good to get actual data from them rather than going through a lot of the third-party stuff. But they gather it from the API, although that is incomplete.
Yeah.
So it's always been the problem of trying to figure that out. There's stuff that they don't release.
Yeah. Absolutely.
One of the biggest ones is you can't get assist information. Although I think you can now.
Right.
I think you can now that you couldn't in the past, so they didn't. So Win8 never used it. I don't remember how that went down. Somebody probably knows in chat better than I do. Yeah, there you go. But still, Win8 doesn't use it.
Yeah.
Not that Win8 is the end-all, be-all, but it is fairly significantly decent.
Well, it is more so when you've got a lot of light tank play and all the rest of it. So you try well, it doesn't have to be light tank, but your spotting doesn't count for anything. That's just the way it is, I guess. But
yeah, I wonder how far back in the past legacy reasons works as an excuse. On the other hand, because the game is much smaller than it used to be, whether or not somebody really wants to dive in and do all that work at this point, probably they don't care.
No.
They're just going to ride. They're just going to ride that wave.
Yeah.
Without messing with it too much.
Well, and at the end of the day, it'll be a computerized thing anyway, so it won't be. Nobody will have to delve into it. The computer will spew out a prediction on anything that they're going to do because it'll use the data that's fed into it. So,
well, what Cliffy's saying is that the guys who developed the whole Win8 thing were a crew of very good and mathematically inclined players, a lot of which are not playing anymore. So that whole thing, the whole train that drove that is sort of not around anymore. It's on life support basically. So the idea that they were working on a new Win8 for a long time, but I guess it died. They don't care, and it doesn't matter, So
there you go. I mean, there's a lot of chat there. You've got Howie's saying there's streamed timer counting down. I don't know what
I
that
have
means.
no idea what that means.
Blah blah blah. That's blah. It says data foil. It's rigged. Wait, it says it's rigged. Of course it's rigged.
When that timer gets to 0, the world ends, my friends. I'm sorry. That's just you caught us.
Yeah.
All right. Did you have a competition?
Oh yes, I've got a biscuit competition. Right, biscuit, as in United States of American biscuit competition. It had to be no tanks. This one, okay, same sort of deal.
Oh wait, let me get hold on. Let me get the picture up. Where is it?
Okay.
Oh, where's my biscuit? Boom.
Real biscuit, Cliffy.
Boom.
Okay, so the biscuit competition. There they are, the glorious biscuits that Pilgrim made yesterday. And ate 4 out of the 5, and the House General had the other one. Didn't save any for you. Very close, Wayne. You got 3 wrong, so you're very close. Anyway, so 3 answers in a oneer. So get your wiki fingers going. All right, got your wiki fingers going. Here we are. 3 answers in a oneer, and it's for 500 gold, and the biscuit recipe that I used. Okay, so the prize is you'll get a copy of the biscuit recipe that I used, and 500 gold for World of Tanks. So 0 out of 3, Wayne. Well done. Here we are then. So the first one is, what item was the biscuit developed from? It's all on wiki. So what's the name of the food item that the biscuit was developed from? That's the first part of the question. Second part is, who introduced the biscuit into its eating regime and what year? So who introduced it and what year? It's all on Wiki, all right? And then the third part is in 1875, the biscuit as you guys know it was painted. The biscuit cutter was painted as you guys know it, the biscuit cutter. And so the name of the guy who invented and painted or patented the biscuit cutter. So I need the name of the guy who patented the biscuit cutter in 1875. The people or the department or the group of people who introduced the biscuit.
Oh, was it 1874 or 1875?
Pardon? 1875.
Oh, I got that date wrong.
Patented. Okay. There was somebody introduced the biscuit into its eating regime for the first time, and what year was that? And then, what was the name of the food product that the biscuit was developed from? So I'm now trying to check it out.
Well, you don't know the answers?
No, I'm checking out the answers that are coming up.
Oh.
No, Gator, you ain't got it. Southerners with their gravy is not right, Hoplon, but good try. Wiki tells you everything. That was my first try, Randall. Yes, I've never done biscuits before in my life. I don't do baking. I'm not allowed near the kitchen. Because I give people food poisoning. That was my very first attempt, and they were very nice too with my curry soup. It is a science, and I'm not a scientist. Oh, somebody's getting close. Somebody's getting close. Who hasn't Googled it, but Wiki Fingers, it tells you everything on Wiki. There's the clue. No, oh dog, it might be true in your world, but it wasn't true. Oh, 2 out of 3, TL Wiz, 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. See you later, Obrut.
See you, man.
2 out of 3, TL. That's a clue to everybody else.
Teach them good, my friend.
No, it's not Peyton Cliffy. 2 out of 3. There's a clue to everybody else. Get back on Wiki. Come on. I'll give it away to TL if nobody else gets it.
There's 2 things to be won here.
One
of them is useless, and the other one is a fantastic recipe. Grandma used a soup can to cut hers.
That's not the patent, no.
That's a great idea, actually.
$1.
One thing I learned about it with when you cut it,
yeah.
when you cut it, is to not twist it.
Not twist it, no. That's right, yeah.
Because apparently that seals off the edges. Okay,
I think we'll give it another 30 seconds, Guido, and then I think I'm going to give it to
All right.
Wiz if nobody gets
Is that where we've come to? We're just going to accept half answers because people can't be bothered. I can't.
Yeah,
what is this? It's the second thing that he doesn't have, right? I don't want to give it away, but
well, he's got 2 out of 3.
I'm looking at the site. I'm trying to figure out the answers, but I can't.
On Wiki.
I know, but I'm reading them. I'm like, I don't know. It's not. It kind of gives several answers that might work.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you for what. If TL Wiz is the winner of this, he won't get the recipe. He'll just get the gold. How about that? That's fair, isn't it?
Oh, you're going to keep the recipe?
I'm going to keep my recipe, yeah. Because look at them.
Look at those things. Look at those. That's too much.
Yeah.
He needs a recipe. You got to give him the recipe, man. Got to give him the recipe so we can make some delicious, fluffy biscuits.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking
Keds, that's close.
Earlier history.
8 huzzahs. You've got 2 out of 3. That's giving it away, isn't it?
Well, you already said that. They already knew that. So I see the guy who patented that. I got that piece. What was give me the first question again?
The first question was, what food product was it developed from? The second question was, what group of people or department or whatever you want to call it introduced it, and what year was it introduced in?
Okay, I got where it's developed from. I think I understand that. What year was it? There's a year?
There was a year that it was actually introduced into a group of people, if you like, for want of a bit. There you go. No, wrong. Yeah. Where's the third answer? Come on. Where's the third answer? You've got to type quick, Meldef. Get the third one in there quick. Because everybody else is going to get it now.
Oh, I just saw a date. No, that's that guy's.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he did get one of the dates that's in there.
Yeah. But it's not that. It was the who painted what's the name of the guy who painted the cutter?
I think Rouge,
Right, there you
Rouge
go.
John.
Rouge John's got it. There you go. Rouge John. Sorry guys, but Rouge John got it because he got all three answers together.
Whew.
Yeah, you see, TL Wiz, you're just too late, mate. Rouge John. Okay,
Yeah,
let me
wow.
go through it. It was developed from hardtack, correct. The first group, as a group, to introduce it was the Royal Navy, God bless them, in 1588. That's way. It actually didn't get into America until the 1700s. Okay, so 1588, the Royal Navy introduced
Oh,
it
I
as
see.
a-
To rations on ships. Okay.
Yeah. And then 1875, it was painted the biscuit cutter by Alexander P. Ashbourne. So, Rouge John, sorry
Actually-
guys, I mean, Rouge John just did it. He just did it.
Aren't you sort of
guys did-
speeding on the assuming it was the Royal Navy that did it in 1588?
Of course it's the Royal Navy. It's the Royal Navy. Never mind all these Egyptians or anything else. It was the Royal Navy. Okay?
I'll
Royal
just
Navy.
read it. It says
British.
these were first introduced in 1588 to the rations
Yeah.
of ships. Now it doesn't say Royal Navy ships.
It does.
Oh
On
man,
my wiki it says Royal Navy.
you have the British wiki.
Yes. Yeah, not young colonials. It was a bit. You didn't get it till the 1700s, and you're trying to claim it for yourself. Get out! It's a British invention.
Oh man.
So I just need your in-game name and the server that you play on, Rouge John. If you whisper it to me, mate. I'm pilgrim of many pilgrims on this particular stream, so just whisper it to me and I'll sort you out, and I'll let you have the recipe as well.
Excellent.
TL, you ain't getting the recipe, my friends.
All right, guys. I think that's about it, man. Any last parting shots from the crowds there? Hardtack is just a biscuit that's hard. You can
Yes, it
you,
is,
you
isn't
can
it?
survive on it a lot, but you're not going to want to.
No, it used to be in the army, in the British Army ration packs. It's just bad.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
It's a way to make so you don't have to eat flour raw essentially at the end of the day, and it fills up your tummy, but it will it's like a really thick cracker basically, yeah, and full of weevils. Well, the weevils were good protein.
That's protein, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Keeps the weevils down, yeah. Well, they do find it harder to dig through the hardtack, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The good thing about hardtack is that you could soak it in your gravy, like you do your biscuits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or just hold it off the side of the boat and soak it in the salt water.
You could, yeah. It'd be salty, wouldn't it? It'd be a bit salty. Said the actress.
No,
to the
that's a
bishop.
bad idea. Don't do that. That is not going to help you at all.
Not at all.
No. That is going the wrong direction. All right, guys. Much appreciated. Thanks for coming by to Biscuit Talk. Next week, we'll be talking about scones.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah. That's it from the left side of the Atlantic.
And that's it from the correct side of the Atlantic.
Later, guys.